Hey people, how's it going? Tanger here. I'm on Factorio again. This is a great game. I used to play it quite a bit, but I took a ridiculously long break from it, played other games. Kind of got bored of it at the time. I gave this mod a try called Space Exploration back in the day, and it was too overwhelming. It was too challenging. It was too long. And I was in a hurry to see the space stuff in it. You know, you build spaceships and things, you go to other planets, and I was in such a hurry to get to that I really didn't want to do any of the other stuff. I didn't want to build up. I tried to play on top of an old save that I already gotten to, launch the ship on, and it breaks a lot of your recipes. It breaks a lot of your factories. So I I quit at the time. I didn't keep trying to play the mod, and I got bored of the game as well after a while. So anyway, I'm playing it again though, and I got space exploration again, and this time I'm giving it a more thorough shake here. I've been playing through it for like 3 months now, and I'm just like to the mid tier because there's a lot more to it, and I'm more of a casual player. I don't like, I can't just play this 10 hours a day like some of you guys do. But I play it a couple hours now and then maybe. And anyway, I got to the point where it was becoming unmanageable to constantly be trying to make these different components while I'm out trying to design a factory or whatever. I needed a real mall. For those that aren't aware, don't know about what this term means, it's basically a place where you build everything, you manufacture all the stuff you need, and it's like one place where you go to get all your different components. And I started like just kind of half-assing building a mall in my normal playthrough, and it was a disaster. It was hideous, and I scrapped. Basically, I knew that wasn't going to work. So I found a couple of. Oh, and by the way, since space exploration there's like a required mod called AAI Industry. It's the one that changes all the recipes. It's a built-in part of space exploration. It changes so many things. Anyway, so yeah, you can't just use existing mall blueprints that you had for vanilla. You need a space exploration or AAI compatible one. So this is what I came up with. I caught a couple of I found a couple of other blueprints for it, and I didn't like them. They didn't fit well. They either made too many things I didn't need, or they were too expensive to build, or they were too messy, or they were gigantic, or some combination of all of those. This one builds the things I want to build. It doesn't build a bunch of things I don't want to build. It's much cleaner in my opinion. It's less expensive, takes up less space, and it's got a couple of cool features I'll talk about real quick. One of them is it has some extra checks. Well, first of all, it's got this. Most mall blueprints will have stuff like this where it just says it's a limit. It's a limiter. You could also do stuff like this, but I'm using these. And you can actually replace any of these chests with your provider chests and put a roboport on it, and it'll serve them out to you. But the other thing that I put in here is this, where, like, say I want to, grab a couple of these, and I want to grab a couple of these. It won't. It won't just steal all of the ones that it's building from here to build these, since it's a prerequisite. That's one of the changes, is that almost all the different components have a requisite of the lower tier version of themselves. So anyway, if I didn't put in this one circuit here, it would just take all of these to build all of these. But this basically keeps them even. So if you grab, like a good example is for the inserters over here. If I grabbed all the blues and I grabbed all the greens at the same time, and I wanted both of them to be replenished, if I didn't have that circuit in there, it would not give me any blues until all the greens were done being built. But instead, this way, it fills them in evenly. So yeah, I have that for pretty much all the different kind of hierarchies of tiers of different kind of buildings. And yeah, it's got a lot of cool components in here. A lot of the things you're going to need. It's got a flamethrower instead of the machine gun turrets. These flamethrowers are way better. On my current playthrough, I've just realized how vastly superior flamethrowers are to the bullet guns. and laser guns. So I'm pretty much only using flamethrowers at this point. So I only put those in my recipe. You pretty much only need flamethrowers for, I don't know, at least as far as I've gotten. And that is that. You know, it's got all these different pieces. Some of them have quite a few. It'll build out quite a few for you. The ones that you're going to need in bulk. And it seems to all work pretty well at this point. This is like the third version of it. I kept finding little glitches and little things. Made a little improvements. It seems pretty well polished at this point. So this is the version I'm going to put on the Blueprint, the Factorio Blueprints website, and share with everybody who might be able to enjoy it for space exploration in the AAI industry mods for Factorio, the latest versions, whatever it is, 1 point something 5, I don't know, whatever it is. And yeah, it's pretty cool. This was a good 10 hours of work to put this thing together because I kept going back and forth and rearranging and relaying all this out. Like all of these across this line here, most of them need concrete, steel, circuits, and you can see they actually have, that's why they're all in a row like that. So some of these little design improvements made the tangle a lot less tangly. I mean, this is still kind of tangly, but it's not as bad as it was before, trust me. It's pretty decent. It's not too ugly. It's not really that unreasonable. Also, along with this blueprint, I also included this little motor support factory. It will include all of the, it'll build the motors for you. So let me show you my save that uses this. This is my latest playthrough. I'm not going to get too much into the details on it in this video. I might talk about it later, but I'm trying to keep this concise to just the one mod. I mean, just the one blueprint. And of course, I'm not actually near it at the moment, so I got to fly over there. This is one of the features of space exploration. You get a jetpack. This was my old mall. I pretty much tore it up and cannibalized all the pieces out of it. And my new mall is over here. And this is why the inputs are designed the way they are. So I've got a new rail block system, a new rail grid system. I'll talk about that in another video also, I guess. But basically, it's got the same, 16 inputs, 4 per side, that the old one had, my bigger, wider one. This one's more concise. It's a little smaller on the block, a lot less space on the lanes. Anyway, so yeah, I kind of designed it to be fed in such a manner where I've got some inputs over here, I got some inputs on the side, I got another, I've got a limited number of inputs, and they're kind of spaced out across the span of the thing, so it kind of lays like this. Works great for me. You don't have to do it this way though. You could instead just run all of these down the side like I've seen some other blueprints do, but that's not the way I wanted to do it. But you can easily just run lines on the outside. You can also double up on your irons, if you wanted to have some iron coming across so it didn't get shortchanged, and merge it back in. You can do that. So here's my support factor that I was talking about with all the motors and engines. So yeah, the design is basically to have my copper and iron on this side, and rather than building these in a separate place and trucking them over here, I just make them from these components. It's a pretty basic one, and it works out like that. So that's that part. There's one other thing I was gonna say, and I guess I forgot what it was. I was just thinking about it. Oh well, probably not that important. Yeah, but there it is. It's a pretty handy little blueprint. It's made a huge difference in my current playthrough. I might talk about my current playthrough that I've been doing in another video. It's been getting pretty fun. It's getting pretty cool. I just put in some nuclear power. Talk about that later. But yeah, check it out. I'll put the link for this blueprint in the comments of the video, and have a good time with it. Have fun with the game, Factorio. See you next time. Have a good one.